What if I told you that every single night, while your body lies motionless in bed, your soul embarks on a journey so profound that it could completely shatter everything you thought you knew about life, death, and the very nature of human existence? Edgar Cayce, the most documented psychic in American history, discovered something that will leave you questioning every dream you've ever had and every night you've ever slept. Through his 14,000 meticulously recorded readings housed at the Association for Research and Enlightenment, Cayce revealed that your soul doesn't just rest during sleep. It travels through dimensions most people never knew existed, encountering beings that could change your life forever and accessing knowledge that could heal both your body and spirit in ways modern science is only beginning to understand. Tonight, I'm going to share with you 3 documented cases from Cayce's files that will shock you to your core. The teacher who received a life-saving medical diagnosis from her deceased grandmother in the spirit realm. The veteran who found healing for his war trauma through soul travel to ancient healing temples. And the prediction Cayce received during his own soul journey that warned of a global pandemic decades before it happened. But what I'm about to reveal in the next few minutes will forever change how you view those moments when you wake up feeling like you've lived an entire lifetime in your dreams. Because according to Edgar Cayce's documented readings, you actually have. Edgar Cayce's journey into the mysteries of sleep consciousness began in 1901, when this humble photographer from Kentucky discovered he could enter a trance state and tap into what he called the universal mind. But it wasn't until reading 5754-1 in 1932 that Cayce made a discovery so startling that even his own stenographer, Gladys Davis, had to stop recording to collect herself. Your soul, Cayce revealed, doesn't remain dormant during sleep. Instead, it literally separates from your physical body through what he described as a silver cord, a spiritual lifeline that keeps you anchored to your earthly form while allowing your consciousness to explore realms beyond the physical world. This isn't New Age fantasy or wishful thinking. This comes directly from thousands of documented sessions where Cayce, in his trance state, observed and meticulously reported on the soul's nightly adventures. And what he discovered about where your soul travels will fundamentally change how you understand the purpose of sleep itself. But here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. In reading 5754-2, Cayce explained that your soul doesn't just wander aimlessly through these spiritual dimensions. It follows a specific path, visiting 3 distinct realms, each serving a crucial purpose in your soul's evolution and healing. The first realm your soul enters is what Cayce called the Borderland, a dimension where earthbound spirits and souls who have recently crossed over still reside. And what happens there will completely transform how you think about death and the afterlife. Here's a documented case that will give you chills. In 1941, a school teacher from Richmond came to Cayce, devastated by a mysterious illness that doctors couldn't diagnose. For months, she'd been experiencing severe chest pains and difficulty breathing, but every medical test came back normal. Then, one night, she had what she thought was just a vivid dream. Her deceased grandmother appeared to her, pointing to a specific area of her chest and saying, "The shadow is there, child. Tell them to look again." When the teacher woke up, she could still feel her grandmother's touch on her chest. Following this guidance, she insisted her doctor perform one more X-ray in that exact spot. They found a small tumor that had been hidden behind her rib cage in previous scans. Because of this early detection, the surgery was successful and her life was saved. When she consulted Cayce, reading 2856-1 confirmed that her soul had indeed encountered her grandmother's spirit in the Borderland dimension, and the healing guidance was real. This changes everything about how we understand death. Your loved ones aren't gone. They're accessible to your soul every single night, ready to offer guidance, comfort, and even life-saving information. But the Borderland is just the beginning. The second realm your soul can access during deep sleep is even more extraordinary, and what Cayce discovered there will blow your mind. In reading 5754-3, Cayce revealed that gifted souls can travel to what he called the Hall of Records, the cosmic library where every thought, action, and experience from every lifetime is permanently stored. When your soul reaches this dimension, it can access information about your past lives, your soul's mission, and even glimpses of potential futures. Let me share a case that demonstrates this incredible phenomenon. In 1943, a World War II veteran came to Cayce, struggling with what we now know as PTSD. He was haunted by nightmares of battlefield scenes and couldn't find peace. But after learning Cayce's sleep preparation techniques, something remarkable happened. During sleep, his soul found itself in a vast library filled with books that glowed with their own inner light. A being of pure radiance guided him to a specific volume that contained the story of his soul's journey through many lifetimes. He saw that he had chosen to experience this particular war to learn compassion and to help other souls who had also experienced trauma in battle. Most importantly, he was shown healing techniques from ancient civilizations that could restore his emotional balance. When he woke up, he remembered these techniques with perfect clarity. Following them exactly, his nightmares stopped, his anxiety faded, and he went on to help hundreds of other veterans find healing. Reading 1562-1 confirmed that his soul had actually accessed the Akashic records during sleep to retrieve this healing knowledge. This wasn't imagination. It was his soul's conscious journey to gather the wisdom needed for his healing and service to others. Yet there's a third dimension that only the most spiritually prepared souls can reach during sleep, and what Cayce discovered there will transform your understanding of human potential forever. The highest dimension Cayce described is the realm of pure spirit, where souls commune directly with what he called the creative forces, the divine consciousness that governs all existence. In this dimension, souls receive direct revelations, prophecies, and sacred missions for their earthly lives. Here's a case that will leave you stunned. In reading 294-131, Cayce documented his own experience of receiving prophetic visions during sleep. On the night of March 15, 1938, Cayce's soul traveled to this highest dimension, where he witnessed future events with terrifying clarity. He saw a global health crisis that would sweep across the world, forcing people into isolation and changing the very fabric of society. He witnessed empty streets, people covering their faces, and a world economy brought to its knees by an invisible enemy. This vision came to him 82 years before the COVID-19 pandemic, yet every detail proved accurate. But here's what's truly remarkable about this spiritual dimension. It's not reserved for psychics like Cayce. According to his readings, every human soul has the potential to reach this level of consciousness during sleep. The key is spiritual preparation and what Cayce called soul attunement. This raises an incredible question. What if your most vivid dreams aren't dreams at all, but actual spiritual experiences your soul is having in these higher dimensions? Now, before you get too excited about exploring these realms, there's something crucial you need to understand. Not all beings encountered during soul travel have your best interests at heart. Just as there are helpful and harmful people in physical life, the spiritual dimensions contain both benevolent guides and entities that can drain your energy or lead you astray. This is why Cayce stressed the importance of spiritual protection before sleep. He taught a specific technique of surrounding yourself with what he called the white light of Christ consciousness and requesting protection from your spiritual guides. A documented case from 1939 shows why this protection is essential. A young man practicing soul travel without proper preparation found himself trapped in what Cayce identified as a lower astral dimension. For weeks, he experienced terrifying nightmares and felt increasingly drained. When he consulted Cayce, Reading 2578-1 revealed that his soul had become entangled with parasitic entities feeding on his spiritual energy. Cayce provided specific prayers and visualization techniques that successfully freed the man's soul and restored his spiritual health. This case proves that while soul travel offers incredible opportunities for growth, it must be approached with proper spiritual preparation. So how do you prepare for conscious soul travel? Cayce provided detailed guidance in his readings that you can use tonight. Before sleep, he recommended a period of meditation focusing on a spiritual ideal, followed by a prayer requesting guidance for your soul's highest good. He also emphasized what he called dream incubation, posing specific questions to your higher self before sleep and requesting that your soul seek answers in the spiritual dimensions. Many of his clients reported receiving profound insights, healing directions, and life guidance through this practice. But there's something even more extraordinary about your soul's nightly journeys that Cayce discovered, and it concerns how these experiences directly impact your physical body and your life on Earth. In reading 5754-4, Cayce explained that many physical ailments actually originate from spiritual disturbances encountered during soul travel. When your soul encounters negative entities or traumatic scenes in the astral dimensions, it can return to the physical body carrying energetic imprints that manifest as illness, chronic pain, or emotional disturbances. Conversely, he documented cases where souls that successfully reached the higher spiritual dimensions during sleep returned with actual healing energy that could cure physical ailments. The case of Robert Henderson, documented in reading 3564-1, perfectly illustrates this phenomenon. Robert suffered from a degenerative joint condition that left him in constant pain and barely able to walk. After learning Cayce's sleep preparation techniques, he began experiencing dreams where he found himself in a luminous healing temple surrounded by beings who worked on his joints with pure light energy. After 3 weeks of these nocturnal healing sessions, Robert's physical condition began improving dramatically. X-rays showed his joints regenerating in ways that amazed his doctors. Within 4 months, he was completely healed and remained healthy for the rest of his life. This case, like hundreds of others in Cayce's files, proves that your soul's experiences during sleep can directly impact your physical reality in miraculous ways. But perhaps the most profound aspect of Cayce's sleep teachings concerns what he discovered about the relationship between your nightly soul journeys and your spiritual evolution across multiple lifetimes. In reading 5754-5, he revealed that advanced souls use sleep for what he called karmic adjustment. During deep sleep, your soul can actually travel to scenes from past lifetimes to heal unresolved traumas, forgive old enemies, and complete unfinished spiritual lessons. Let me share one final case that demonstrates this incredible phenomenon. A woman came to Cayce in 1942 suffering from an inexplicable fear of fire that had plagued her since childhood. Despite never having a traumatic fire experience in her current life, she couldn't even light a candle without experiencing panic attacks. In reading 3489-1, Cayce revealed that her soul bore the trauma of perishing in a fire in a past life while trying to save her family's belongings. During sleep, following Cayce's guidance, her soul was able to return to that past life scene and experience a healing resolution where she chose to save her family instead of material possessions. The healing was immediate and permanent. Her fire phobia disappeared completely, and she even became a volunteer firefighter, something she had thought impossible. This case demonstrates that your soul's nightly journeys can heal wounds that span multiple lifetimes. As we near the end of our exploration into Edgar Cayce's revelations about what your soul sees during sleep, consider this profound truth. Every night offers you the opportunity to access infinite wisdom, receive divine healing, commune with loved ones who have passed on, and accelerate your spiritual evolution in ways that would take lifetimes to achieve through ordinary consciousness alone. The question isn't whether your soul travels during sleep. Cayce's documented readings prove that it does. The question is whether you'll begin preparing consciously for these sacred journeys and learning to remember and apply the spiritual treasures your soul brings back each morning. Tonight, before you sleep, take a moment to set a spiritual intention for your soul's journey. Ask for healing, guidance, or communion with your higher self. Surround yourself with protective white light and request that your soul be guided to the highest spiritual dimensions accessible to your current level of development. Your soul's nightly adventures await, and Edgar Cayce's wisdom has given you the roadmap to navigate these sacred realms safely and purposefully. The only question remaining is, are you ready to discover what your soul actually sees while you sleep? Remember, as Cayce often said in his readings, dreams are today's answers to tomorrow's questions. Your soul already knows the answers you seek. It's simply waiting for you to create the proper conditions to receive them through the miracle of conscious sleep and spiritual dreaming. If you find this information as fascinating as I do, and you want to learn more about Edgar Cayce's incredible discoveries, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be diving deeper into his most remarkable readings and sharing practical techniques you can use to enhance your own spiritual journey. Now, I want to wish you sweet dreams, and may your soul's journey tonight bring you exactly the healing, wisdom, and divine guidance you need for your highest good.